Today, we are going to learn about the urinary system. So how does our urinary system works? Before we can answer that question, we will learn about the function and major structures of the urinary system, the kidneys, nephrons and urine formation, urine's path to the bladder, and other organs that help in excretion. Our body keeps producing waste products and a lot of unwanted liquid waste, which will circulate in our blood until disposed of. And as excess water can be wasted, the urinary system is responsible for its excretion. Now let us proceed to the major structures of the urinary system. The kidneys, ureters, bladder, and urethra are the primary structures of the urinary system. They filter blood and remove waste from the body in the form of urine. The size and the position of the lower urinary structures vary with male and female anatomy. The kidneys are bean-shaped organs and are placed retroperitoneal, which means that it lies between the dorsal wall of the peritoneum. The kidneys filter blood to remove unwanted substances. They also secrete waste into the urine. The kidney is divided into three main sections: the renal cortex, where we will find the nephrons; the renal medulla, a set of cone-shaped masses of tissue that secrete urine into tiny sac-like tubules; the renal artery, the funnel-shaped tube surrounded by smooth muscle that uses peristalsis to move urine out of the kidney, into the ureter, and into the bladder. The nephrons is composed of the following structures: the glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and collecting duct. Together, these structures purify the blood by removing excess water, salt, sugar, metabolic products, and other substances the body needs to purge in order to maintain the body's acid balance, or homeostasis. Before we proceed to the urine formation, we have to bear in mind that the kidney's way of filtering the blood involves everything inside the blood. Yes, even the necessary materials, but don't worry, for the useful ones will be sent back. There are three main steps of urine formation. First is the glomerular filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. These processes ensure that only waste and excess water are removed from the body. Let's start with the entrance of blood to the kidney through the large renal artery. Passed through the capillaries in renal cortex down to nephrons, the main filtering parts of the kidneys. As the blood goes into a nephron by afferent vessel, it will face a ball of yarn-like tissue called glomerulus. This tuft of ball is placed inside a sac-like porous structure called Bowman's capsule or glomerulus capsule. Due to increased pressure from the afferent vessel, the blood will pass through the wall of Bowman's capsule except large materials such as red blood cells and proteins, which will be sent back through afferent vessel. This process is called filtration. As the blood continues to move, it will face three different tubes, namely proximal convoluted tube or PCT, the loop of Henle, LOH, and distal convoluted tube or DCT, respectively. This is where the absorption happens. In PCT, large amount of water and sodium chloride, amino acids, and glucose are being reabsorbed back by peritubular capillaries connected to PCT to be used again. If not, dehydration will kill the humanity very quickly. After PCT, the filtrate will pass to the next curved tube called loop of Henle. It is composed of descending and ascending part. This is where the concentration of urine is formed. As the blood passes to the descending LOH, remaining water will be reabsorbed by the renal medulla. In contrast, as it moves in ascending part, remaining sodium chloride will also face the same process. We have to take note that the loop of Henle is placed within the renal medulla, the salty area of the kidney which is connected to the renal pelvis. After the loop of Henle, the reabsorption will continue in distal convoluted tubule or DCT to reabsorb more ions like calcium and other necessary things our body needs.
What am I afraid of? What the
Furthermore,
fuck am I afraid of?
the final formation of urine also takes place in DCT, the process of secretion. The renal tubule will secrete waste ions and hydrogen ions that escape the filtration to DCT. By then, the filtrate and secreted ions will move to the collective duct that serves as the large collective waste pipe of all nephrons. This collective duct is connected to the renal medulla, attached to renal pelvis, which is the way from the kidney to urinary bladder. The urine will now exit the kidney through renal pelvis down to the ureters. Urine drains from the renal pelvis of each kidneys into the ureters. The ureters are long, thin tubes that is made by smooth muscle. Contractions of the smooth muscle push urine down through the ureters into the bladder. In adults, the ureters are 25 to 30 centimeters long, about the length of a 12-inch ruler. It is a hollow muscle organ that is made up of epithelium, meaning it can be stretched. The urinary bladder has the capacity to hold 300 to 500 ml of urine in normal basis, but can still adjust if you're stuck in the middle of an emergency. Empty urinary bladder is shaped like a triangle, but when full, it is round. The sphincter of the bladder serves as the gateway that prevents urine from leaking. When it is relaxed, it allows urine to pass from the urinary bladder to the urethra. The urethra is the final passage of urine as it exits the body. Its length differs from men, with approximately 20 centimeters long in comparison with women with only 4 centimeters long due to anatomical reproductive differences. There are also other organs that play a role in the excretory system. Skin releases sweat that contains metal ions such as lead, copper, nickel, and more, which can be considered as waste. It also contains salt. However, skin's main job is temperature control and not waste management activities. Therefore, its role in the excretory system is only minimal. The liver plays an important role in the excretion of toxins and drugs. It converts ammonia, a poisonous compound, to a lesser poisonous waste, urea. As it detoxifies the body, the liver releases a yellowish fluid called bile, which will carry out these toxins out of the body. The gut, or the group of digestive organs, also contributed to the excretory system as the large intestine expelled indigestible fats and collect waste all over the body. In addition, the lungs also belong to the excretory system, as it exhales gaseous waste called carbon dioxide. And that is how our urinary system works. Thank you.
So what am I afraid of? So what the fuck am I afraid of?
You're afraid of me, you're afraid that I won't love you back. You know what? I'm afraid too. Fuck it, I want to give it a shot, and at least I'm honest with you.
I'm not honest with you?
No, what about your 12 brothers? No, you're not going. You're not leaving.